The palace walls shuddered as another explosion rocked the crystalline spires of Rayex's Prime. Commander Marcus Chen stood at attention beside the iridescent throne, his weathered hands resting on the plasma rifle slung across his chest. Around him the elite Vraexian Royal Guard, 7-foot-tall warriors bred specifically for combat, shifted nervously, their silver carapaces clicking with agitation. Queen Lysara sat motionless on her throne, her 4 luminescent eyes fixed on the tactical display hovering before her. The rebel forces had breached the outer defenses. They would reach the throne room within minutes. "Your Majesty," General Vexthor's voice cracked through the comm system, distorted by static and fear. "The quantum shields have failed. We must evacuate immediately." The Queen's antennae twitched, a gesture Marcus had learned meant contemplation. "And abandon my people to chaos?" "I think not, General." Marcus suppressed a smile. In the 2 years he'd served as the Queen's strategic advisor, a token gesture from the Terran Alliance to cement diplomatic relations, he'd grown to respect Lysara's unwavering sense of duty. She reminded him of the officers he'd served under during the Outer Rim campaigns. Another explosion, closer this time. The ornate doors buckled inward. An acrid smoke began seeping through the cracks. The Royal Guard's antennae flattened against their heads, the Vraexian equivalent of terror. "Commander Chen," the Queen's melodious voice cut through the chaos. "Your assessment?" Marcus checked his rifle's charge and scanned the tactical display. 3 minutes until they breach, Your Majesty. Maybe 4 if we're lucky. 20 hostiles, maybe more. They're using shaped charges, military grade. Can we hold?" He met her multifaceted gaze. Humanity had a reputation among the galactic community, not for their strength or their technology, but for their stubborn refusal to acknowledge impossible odds. Marcus had never quite understood why other species viewed this as remarkable until he'd served among them. "We can try, ma'am." The Queen's mandibles clicked in what Marcus recognized as grim approval. She rose from her throne, her iridescent robes flowing around her slender frame. "Royal Guard, prepare to—" The nearest guard dropped his weapon. The clatter of quantum steel on marble echoed through the chamber. I cannot, Your Majesty." The guard's voice trembled. "The rebels have plasma cannons. Quantum disruptors. We are not equipped to face such weapons. We are dead if we stay." A murmur of agreement rippled through the other guards. Marcus watched, incredulous, as the elite warriors who had sworn blood oaths to protect their queen began backing toward the service corridors. "Stand your ground," Marcus barked, his command voice honed by decades of military service. But the guards weren't listening to him. They were listening to their biology, the same genetic programming that made them perfect soldiers in controlled environments made them abandon impossible battles the Vraexian species had evolved on a peaceful world. They had engineered themselves for combat only after achieving space travel, and apparently, whoever designed them had included a very effective self-preservation protocol. One by one, the Royal Guard fled. Queen Lysara stood alone before her throne, watching her protectors disappear into the shadows. Her antennae drooped, and for the first time since Marcus had known her, she looked defeated. "It seems," she said quietly, "that loyalty has its limits. Not for everyone, Your Majesty." Marcus stepped forward, positioning himself between the Queen and the buckling doors. He activated his rifle's extended charge mode and pulled 2 concussion grenades from his belt. The Queen's eyes widened. "Commander Chen, you are a diplomat, not a soldier. This is not your fight. The guards were right, this is suicide. You should run while you can." "With respect, ma'am, I was a soldier long before I was a diplomat." He checked his ammunition. 37 rounds. Not enough, but when had that ever stopped a human? "And on Earth we have this saying, not one step back." "I do not understand." "Your species has only been allied with the Vraexian Empire for 2 years. You owe us nothing. Why would you throw your life away for a monarch not your own?" Marcus smiled, that peculiar human expression that so many species found unsettling. "Where I come from, Your Majesty. When you swear an oath, you keep it. Besides," he chambered around, "humans are funny that way. We tend to dig in our heels when someone tells us to run." The doors exploded inward. Rebels poured through the smoke, their weapons raised, their battle cries echoing off the vaulted ceiling. Marcus counted 17. His intelligence had been optimistic. "Last chance, Your Majesty," their leader shouted, his translator rendering his words in clipped galactic standard. "Abdicate or die." Queen Lysara straightened, her regal bearing returning. I am the 307th of my line. We do not flee. We do not surrender, then you die. Kill them both. Marcus opened fire. The first 3 rebels dropped before they understood what was happening. Humans, the galaxy had learned, possessed reflexes honed by evolving alongside apex predators. What the Vraexians had engineered, humans had earned through millions of years of being both hunter and hunted. He moved, not with the mechanical precision of the fled guards, but with the fluid unpredictability that made human soldiers so unnerving to fight. He rolled behind a pillar as plasma bolts superheated the air where he'd been standing. Came up firing. 4 more down, a concussion grenade. 5 seconds. The rebels scattered too slowly. The explosion caught 6 of them, their shields overloading in a cascade of sparks. 8 left. A plasma bolt grazed Marcus's shoulder, burning through armor and flesh. He ignored the pain. Another human trick that disturbed other species. Adrenaline was one hell of a drug. 2 rebels tried to flank him. He'd anticipated it. A burst from his rifle caught the first. The second got close enough for Marcus to demonstrate another human advantage. We were endurance hunters, but we could brawl when needed. His armored fist shattered the rebel's faceplate. 6 left. His rifle clicked empty. Marcus drew his sidearm, a human-made kinetic weapon that other species considered primitive. The rebels learned why humans still use them. Kinetic rounds didn't care about energy shields. 4 left. The rebel leader charged, quantum blade humming. Marcus blocked with his rifle's stock, the blade shearing through the weapon's housing. He dropped, swept the rebel's legs, and put 2 rounds through his chest plate at point-blank range. 3 left. The remaining rebels looked at each other, looked at the human bleeding from a dozen wounds, standing over the corpses of 14 of their comrades. Looked at the queen, still standing, still defiant. They ran. Marcus swayed, legs threatening to give out. The queen rushed forward, catching him as he fell. Why? She asked again, her voice thick with emotion humans had only recently learned Vraexians could feel. Why stay when trained warriors fled? Marcus coughed, tasting copper. Your Majesty, humans have this problem. We're not smart enough to know when we're supposed to lose. He managed a weak smile. Besides, on my oath, to preserve and protect. Didn't say anything. About only when it's easy. Medical teams burst through the side entrance. The general had finally rallied reinforcements. As they stabilized Marcus's wounds, Queen Lysera knelt beside him. The galaxy believes humans are reckless, foolish, that you don't understand fear. Oh, we understand it, ma'am. Marcus's eyes were starting to close. We're really good at ignoring it. 3 weeks later, Marcus stood before the assembled Vraexian High Council, his arm still in a regeneration sling. Queen Lysera was addressing the gathered nobles, her voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. Let it be known throughout the Empire and beyond, Commander Marcus Chen has been elevated to the rank of Lord Protector, the first non-Vraexian to hold this title in our history. When my own guards fled in the face of death, this human stood firm. He asked for nothing, expected nothing. He simply stayed. She turned to Marcus, her antennae high with respect. The Royal Guard have been disbanded and will be redesigned. Their replacements will be trained by humans, who apparently understand something about duty that we engineered out of ourselves. That true courage is not the absence of fear, but acting despite it. As Marcus accepted the ceremonial blade, a weapon he'd likely never use, he caught the eyes of the watching dignitaries. Some showed respect, others uncertainty. All showed a new understanding. Humanity had been the youngest species in the galactic community, viewed as impulsive and primitive. But the Vraexians would remember. When the guards ran, the humans stayed, and across the galaxy, other species would learn what it meant to have humans as allies, or the cost of making them enemies. Because humans, bless their reckless hearts, had never learned how to quit.